Good morning, everyone. I am Professor Dr. D.N. Zamre, Head Department of Chemistry, Kisan Veer Mahavidyalaya, Y. Last lecture, we have already discussed homogeneous and heterogeneous catalysts. Today, we are going to discuss types of the catalyst. Depending upon mode of catalyst and nature of catalyst, catalytic reactions are divided in particularly 6 parts. Number 1, positive catalyst, negative catalyst, autocatalyst, induced catalyst, enzyme catalyst, and acid-base catalyst. One by one, we are going to discuss the different types of the catalyst. First is what is meant by positive catalyst. Positive catalyst, it is nothing but the rate of reaction which goes on increases or enhance the rate of reaction in presence of which substance. That substance is called as a positive catalyst, and the catalytic reaction, the phenomenon is known as a positive catalysis reaction. For example, if you see the manufacturing of oxygen by using KClO3 giving rise to KCl and O2 in presence of MnO2 as a positive catalyst, and this oxygen can be utilized for different purposes in the hospital also, whatever that requirement for patient. Then second one is the formation of HCl, the equal proportion of H2 and Cl2 when combined in presence of moisture, it is giving rise to hydrochloric acid. This is the moisture is acting as a autocatalyst. Next reaction in the Haber process, when N2 plus 3H2 1 to 3 proportion of nitrogen and hydrogen combined, it is giving rise to ammonia, and this ammonia can be utilized to manufacture urea, as well as sometimes ammonia can be utilized to manufacture HNO3 nitric acid. See now here, N2 combined with H2, it is giving rise in presence of this Fe2O3 and in presence of molybdenum as a promoter action, it is giving rise to NH3. Here this is acting as a positive catalyst. In next reaction, in the contact process for manufacturing of sulfuric acid, if you observe SO2 combined with O2, it is giving rise to SO3. When SO3 gets dissolved in water, it is giving rise to H2SO4. That reaction can be carried out in presence of vanadium pentoxide as a catalyst. This is called as a positive catalyst. It means shortly we are going to say the positive catalyst, it is nothing but rate of reaction goes on increases. Number of reactions are coming under this category. Then next one, what is meant by negative catalyst? Negative catalyst, it is nothing but inhibits the rate of reaction, decrease the rate of reaction. It can be actually this is also called as a anti-catalytic reagent. Suppose if you want to carry out any type of reaction, if you want to slow down that reaction, slow down the reaction can be carried out by using mere some substances. For example, if you see the use of sulfuric acid or glycine to retard the decomposition of hydrogen peroxide. The hydrogen peroxide can be always stored in black bottle because UV radiation fall on that hydrogen peroxide, it decomposes. That's why that decomposition can be slowed down by using that glycerin or H2SO4, and the decomposition can be decreased, the rate can be very slow. In second example, if you see tetraethyl lead get added in the petrol as an anti-knocking reagent. Anti-knocking reagent to retard the early ignition of an internal combustion of engine. That whatever that tetraethyl lead is essential to add the petrol, it can be retard the rate of reaction. It can be retard the anti-knocking noise in the internal combustion of engine. Then next one, in presence of small amount of alcohol, retard the oxygen of chloroform. See now here in this reaction, this chloroform when get oxidized, it is giving rise to phosphagene gas and HCl. That poisonous phosphagene is very dangerous to our health. That's why that can be retarded by using small amount of alcohol. It is acting as a negative catalyst. Next one, suppose third type, autocatalytic reaction. What is meant by autocatalytic reaction? During the reaction, one of the product which is get formed, that product can be acting as an autocatalyst in the next reaction. For example, in the titration of KMnO4 versus oxalic acid, if you observe this reaction, KMnO4 combined with H2SO4 and it is giving rise to H2SO4, MnSO4, H2 and nascent oxygen. And this MnSO4 during this reaction which is get formed acting as an autocatalyst, and this catalyst can be used in the next reaction, that nascent oxygen combined with oxalic acid, it is giving rise to H2 and CO2. When there is a total formation of H2 and CO2, then and then the colorless goes on changing to pink color in the titration of oxalic acid versus KMnO4. This is called as a autocatalyst. It means shortly we are going to say autocatalyst, it is nothing but during the reaction, one of the product which is get formed, that product can be acting as a catalyst in the next reaction, that is called as a autocatalytic reaction, and the phenomenon is called as a autocatalysis. Then next type is the induced catalyst. Induced, it is nothing but doping. Suppose in case of Na3ASO3 get oxidized in presence of this catalyst, and it is giving rise to Na2SO4 and Na2ASO4. That Na3ASO3 can get converted in the form of Na3ASO4 in presence of Na2SO3 as a catalyst, and Na2SO3 is called as a autocatalyst, and the phenomenon is called as a autocatalysis. Next one, acid-base catalysis. What is meant by acid-base catalysis? Any type of reaction which is going to carry out in presence of acid as a catalyst is called as a acid catalytic reaction. When any reaction which is get carried out in presence of base as a catalyst is called as a base catalytic reaction. For example, if you see the cane sugar when get hydrolyzed, mere presence of mineral acid HCl as a catalyst, this is acid and it is giving rise to glucose and fructose. This is coming under the category of acid catalytic reaction. Then base catalytic reaction, it is nothing but when any reaction which is get carried out in presence of mere base, and that is called as a base catalyst. For example, this is called as a benzaldehyde. Benzaldehyde combined with acetaldehyde in presence of alkali as a catalyst, or that is also called as a base, and it is giving rise to cinnamaldehyde and water. Benzaldehyde combined with this acetaldehyde, it is giving rise to cinnamaldehyde, and in presence of alkali as a catalyst is called as a alkali catalyst or base catalytic reaction. And last one is the enzyme catalyst. What is meant by enzyme catalyst? So many types of the reactions which are going to carry out in our body, that is the one type of enzyme catalyst. For example, best example, if you see this sugar, आपण जे काय खातो त्याच्यापासून शुगर तयार होते, आणि शुगरचं काय होतं, डिकम्पोजिशन होतं आणि ग्लुकोज आणि फ्रुक्टोज तयार होतं, आणि ग्लुकोज आणि फ्रुक्टोज पासून ज्या वेळेला डिकम्पोजिशन त्याचं होतं त्यावेळेला अल्कोहोल आणि काय तयार होतं, अल्कोहोल आणि CO2 तयार होतं. The mechanism can be explained in the form of acid base catalytic reaction. For example, the sugar which is manufactured due to the eating of some food, that sugar get hydrolyzed in presence of maltase as a catalyst. Maltase is an enzyme. This is a catalyst and it is giving rise to twice molecule of the glucose. When this glucose get decomposed in presence of zymase as a catalyst, which is present in our body, and it is giving rise to alcohol and that CO2. This alcohol is useful to create the energy, and that energy is useful to our body to work something. Then this next example, if you take urea when hydrolyzed in presence of urease as a enzyme, and it is giving rise to NaCO2. These are the some of the example under the category of enzyme catalyst. Thank you.